There are a lot of games on Steam, some of which are very expensive. So today I decided we're gonna check out the free-to-play section of Steam, because there's a lot of fun games out there that I already have downloaded, but I also want to play more because I'm kind of poor. And I won't lie to you, some of the games on here are pretty bad, but that won't stop me from playing the 50 free games that I found for you guys today. But enough of that, here's the first game. Now for our first game, Alpacalypse, you do want to just kick and spit your way to the end where the rocket ship is to save your girlfriend. It's a pretty short game since you don't need to do any of the beginning levels. As for game number 2, if you put in 49 NPCs, not a good idea. You start dying a lot, especially when it's free for all. However, if you switch it to a team-based game mode, it's a lot more calm. Game 3, we play as this ball that you try to go around the world and you try to speedrun the game. Honestly, didn't make it that far. Wasn't really a clear objective of where to go, so... Game number 4, you play against a pig who tries to beat up the wolves who try to come and eat you. The game gets pretty fast-paced, not gonna lie, but I had a lot of fun playing it, so I think you guys should check it out. Game number 5, a rhythm game where you play the piano. Kind of... okay. I mean, I had an okay time playing it. I would probably prefer playing this type of rhythm game on Osu. So yeah, it wasn't amazing, but it was alright. Game number 6, you play as a mouse and you try to get the cheese in the fastest time possible. All these other players, you're supposed to be competing to get the fastest time. I was not that good at this game, so I usually came in like top 10, but some of the levels you'd get destroyed by bombs just like this, and it was quite chaotic, so it was a lot of fun. I actually played it for longer than the 10 minutes. For game number 7, you play as this block who tries to get through all the levels. This is kind of a fun game, also a very frustrating game, because a lot of the times you think you're gonna make it through one of the areas and you just completely fail. This game brought me pain. For game number 8, this game was kind of really bad. You couldn't sprint and all of the objectives were thousands of meters away, so I kind of decided to just stop playing the game. Have you ever wanted to play Mario Kart but you can't afford the game? Well, it's your lucky day, because if you have a computer you can get this game on Steam for free, and it's essentially Mario Kart with just worse mechanics. I swear, when I was trying to play this game, the drift mechanic is literally so bad that you'd literally do a 360. Next wonderful game on our list, number 10. Llahma Clicker Prologue. I guess there's gonna be more to the game, probably. You get to click these llamas. So, if that's not reason enough for you to play this game, then I don't know what is. For game 11, you play as an octopus with 2 arms and 2 legs, trying to hold the energy orb the longest. Now, you'll need friends to play this one because I wasn't able to find a lobby of players. On to game 12, this is just Minecraft, except your player model has very large heads. On to game 13, you play as a murderous paraphone where you try to beat up all the other paraphones with guns. I didn't realize it, but in this game you can pretty much just get a headshot across the map with a shotgun. It's kind of wild. For game 14, you play volleyball as a hand. I actually had some fun once I understood the controls with this game. It was a little difficult at the beginning. For game 15, if you like speedrunning, you should check out this game. I couldn't get past the second level, so maybe you can do better. And after going into this dude's mind, we find ourselves in game 16. Within game 16, you play as a mischievous ghost trying to scare and kill humans who are quite the dancers. Yeah, they tend to do some really weird stuff within this one. They also kind of look kind of terrifying. Game 17, after causing death and misery, we welcome more death as we play a game where your sole objective is to kill zombies and survive. It gets a bit epileptic, so be warned. For game 18, while I was unable to actually play the game, looking at the trailer for the game, this is pretty much just World of Warcraft. Game 19, I Won't Forget You, is an adventure and psychedelic horror where you play as a woman trying to figure out where her family went. It kind of gave me goosebumps while playing the game, not gonna lie. Game 20, now I'm not a big streamer, but if you are, maybe try this game. It's a fun interactive marble game where you can play with viewers, or just friends, to maybe do giveaways or just pass the time. It was kind of entertaining. Game 21, Aperture Desk Job, was very entertaining. You get a wonderful job of examining toilets and making them into death machines. Game 22, this game was fairly short since I beat it within 10 minutes. You play as a girl running away from aliens during an invasion, and you end up having to face off against a couple of bosses, which don't put up too much of a fight. Game 23, if you're into motorsports games, I'd give this open world snowmobile game a try. You get to ride off cliffs, destroy snowmen, and drown yourself in the lake, which surprisingly takes us into Game 24, where you play as a diver whose sub crashed at the bottom of the ocean. Crazy, I played this game and so a similar event just happened with the Titanic. On to Game 25, Duck Paradox. You navigate through levels and puzzles trying to rescue the original version of your duck. It's quite the hell though if you suck at platformers. On to Game 26, I hate this game with a passion. This game literally made me so angry for about 2 hours trying to get to the end, and I was not able to play. This game makes getting over it feel like I would be able to do that within 10 minutes. This game is horrible for no reason. Why is a goat on a little bouncing ball? Despite me rage quitting, I had a lot of fun with this game. If you enjoy suffering, you should check it out. Game 27, this works on your aim, I think. You just run around avoiding these pills that attempt to kill you. Game 28, where if you love Obama, you probably won't after this Slenderman type game, where once you collect an Obama pyramid, yeah, there's a pyramid that has Obama's face on it, he starts chasing you, trying to kill you. Game 29, in this car chase type game, the mechanics are a bit weird and trying to get away from the cops is almost impossible because it seems that the cops spawn indefinitely, which they do end up making you run out of gas and stopping you. Game 30, this game was actually really peaceful since it was just a fishing game. I enjoy fishing, so this was very therapeutic for me. I was able to catch like 3 fish, but that's okay. That's what happens when you go fishing. Game 31, this hellish looking game about how fish are made. Yeah, I know, we're kind of just putting things back to back. This fishing game had me questioning what I'm doing with my time. I end up killing a fellow fish and found quite a disturbing parasite that decided to put on a show for me. Game 32, it's a 1v1 fighting game where I barely understood the controls. I was able to put up some of a fight. Have you wanted to play Mario? This is SuperTux. You play as a penguin trying to rescue your wife or friend. I'm not too sure. They get abducted similarly to Peach and Mario, so it's essentially just Mario. Game 34, Stay Out, was actually a fairly well-made game. There were objectives you could follow and decent graphics, and there were some players that you could interact with. Game 35, have you ever played Fall Guys? Because neither have I. That's why I decided to play Bro Falls with the exact same concept as Fall Guys. Game 36, your friend or family didn't like you, so they turned you into a rat. The whole game is kind of poorly optimized and I got a lot of frame drop within certain areas, but I managed to get to the end and make myself human again. In Game 37, this game was kind of a breath of fresh air. I enjoyed the style of graphics they went with, and the game was very enjoyable running around as a little post mouse delivering letters. For Game 38, have you ever wondered what Elon Musk does in his free time? Joke's on you, he doesn't have free time and is actually currently in space blasting mines and asteroids using his Tesla to save the Earth. Game 39, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. After waking up in a mech, you're tasked with making it to safety with one of your teammates. And the overall gameplay, while it is kind of easy, I did enjoy it a lot. Game 40, Winter Survival. You and your friends decide to go camping until you all get split up from the wild animals in the area, searching for their next meal. Now, you end up hurting yourself pretty badly after getting chased, and you start hallucinating dead animals in the area, which is honestly pretty good for your sanity. Game 41, I'm really bad at hockey, but I managed to hit this banger of a shot. This platformer all about getting the fastest time was very well made. You compete with other players to try and get the fastest time on that course. I managed to place number 5. Game 43, you play as a priest who defends the good from evil. In my case, I decided to annihilate my followers and send them to the moon. Game 44, another game for you to speedrun, since this game has an in-game timer for each level to track how fast you are. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay. Game 45. Now, I'm not sure what I was expecting from a game called Bean, but it wasn't a bean becoming Spider-Man using a hamburger. Game 46. Zumbi Block is similar to Unturned, if you've heard of it. A game where you're trying to fight zombies to survive. Eventually, you do end up meeting and having to defeat a queen zombie thing. This dragon-looking thing, I don't really know what it is. Game 47. Are you interested in sumo? Well, good, because this isn't sumo. You actually play as a sumo-looking character, and your objective is to KO your opponent with punches and pelting them with boulders. It also was marked as hentai on the Steam store, not really sure where that came from. Game 48, Leaf Blowing Revolution. All you do is rake and blow leaves. I don't know what the whole desire of this game is. I wasn't really too into it, but if you're into that, maybe check it out. Game 49, Duck Simulator 2. This game is 4 games in 1, to my knowledge. I have yet to beat the last game, or the last level of the game, because it's essentially Undertale and it keeps beating me. But I did have a lot of fun playing this one. Game 50, last but not least, we have a game called Byface. Now this game was actually really enjoyable. It is a platformer where it seems you play as a little girl, and each jump changes the color and level of the platforms. So this is kind of a puzzle game as well as a platformer. It was quite peaceful to play, and honestly, I still play this one. Well, now I bet you're wondering, what game did I enjoy the most out of all 50 of those games? And honestly, I enjoyed a lot of them. There were some pretty bad ones in there, but there was also a good amount of good ones. But if I were to pick one, I'd probably pick Winter Survival. Now, the game has a lot of content you get into it once you get into it, and it can be challenging at times, especially once you're finally on your own past the tutorial. I enjoyed the graphics, especially due to it being a free game on Steam. It only takes up like 10 gigabytes of space on your computer, so honestly, I'd recommend downloading it. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. It'll help out the channel a ton, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye!